I'll tell you what, if you're hiring a guy who knows how to hurt the Oilers, Ken Holland's a pretty good place to start.
LA Kings making Ken Holland their next general manager. This man is 69 years young. You best know him for winning 4 Stanley Cups with the Detroit Red Wings in the 1700s. And after being kind of squeezed out, more kicked upstairs, but they wanted Yzerman to come in and take over. He goes to the Oilers, becomes GM, and I think President of Hockey Ops was the title. In Edmonton, his big moves, signed Zach Hyman, made like one of the best trades in the NHL in recent memory for my money in Tyson Barrie, first-round pick. I forget the prospect they traded, but he was a first-round pick who became nothing. But they trade him for Matthias Ekholm, who is about to begin a 4-year deal. Just heavily franchise-affecting move. Also drafted Philip Broberg. Also drafted Dylan Holloway. That's the good. The bad, of course, in massive flashing lights, did not sign and extend Broberg and Holloway as their entry-level contracts were expiring. I overall do not love Ken Holland as a manager right now. How do you feel about him taking over the Kings?
Reed Schaefer, by the way, was the prospect.
Reed Schaefer, apologies to Reed Schaefer, and best of luck. He's still young.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, Ken Holland is one of those guys where, like, you kind of have to take the good with the bad. Unfortunately, the bad usually, or at least like in these past 2 teams, has left a really sour taste in your mouth that lingers after he leaves. And that's why I kind of look at it and I'm saying, like, I would be cool with bringing Ken Holland in like a shared role.
Like the Sabres tried to do?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable to me
but
that
like,
he turned down the Sabres and Islanders.
I would want him in a shared role with sharing the role with a person who is like making up for his losses. And I don't know if that would be the case in Buffalo.
That's probably fair.
Quick side note. Did I not say he signed Zach Hyman?
You did.
Okay, I meant to. Okay, someone in the chat said, don't forget Hyman. I never will as long as I live. I think about that guy so much. He's my buddy. I got the photo proof. Anyway, what do the Kings need?
That's what I was just about to say. Is this kind of an okay place for Ken Holland? Because how much is he going to be able to fuck this up one way or the other?
They have $23 million in cap space. I want a good defenseman on that team very, very badly.
I'll tell you what, if you're hiring a guy who knows how to hurt the Oilers, Ken Holland's a pretty good place to start.
True, but here's my thing on Ken Holland, and I don't have any inside information on this. I think Ken Holland is and I will note that I'm not saying this as any sort of ageism. Ken Holland, I think, is like a sleepy old guy.
That's why I'm kind of surprised by this, is that I think that some of the stuff that happened at the end of his tenure in Edmonton was because he was like a checked out old man.
Right. Didn't it give you like doesn't love the job or like doesn't love working?
Yes, it was.
And maybe
it was kind of the Magic Johnson thing. It was like, I'm not going to be here. So
all-time clip.
I don't know if that's because he knew that he wasn't going to be in Edmonton or if he just didn't really care about holding the job all that much.
Do you remember a month or two into, it was like a month and a half maybe, or a month into the regular season last year, the biggest question we had every day, we were doing daily like trade watches on what are the Oilers going to do about their goaltending. And then he released Jack Campbell and he called up Calvin Pickard and we waited for what was next. And Stu Skinner was really good, and Calvin Pickard was a fine backup, and we were like, oh, genius. He didn't have to do anything, and he knew. And that's where our brains went. And then after some of the other shit I saw him do, I was like, oh, no, he just didn't do anything because he like forgot or didn't think about it, and it worked out.
Yeah, I mean, like I kind of view him in the same way that like I view Don Sweeney, which is like he's good at certain parts of the job, but like there are other parts of the job that he just kind of either ignores or is very bad at. And to be a good GM, I think you need to have a hand in or be good at everything, or at least like hire people that make up for your weaknesses. And I think there's severe blind spots when it comes to Ken Holland.
Sabrina says that Ken Holland is the first boomer to quiet quit. Yeah, it kind of seemed like he quiet quit. And if I'm wrong, we have Oilers people who pay attention to us or whatever, and I'm sure they can reach out and say, oh, no, he actually did this, this, and this. But my read on the thing was like the last year of it. And he also, Henrique, good move. Who else they get the deadline? I mean, Henrique was the big piece, right? Henrique, they got Sam Carrick. Was there anybody else they got at the deadline last year? I can't remember. But he was good, as you said, at like parts of the job. He had some great deadline moves. Ekholm, amazing. But I blame the St. Louis offer sheet fiasco on Ken Holland. Now, it was told to us by Dylan Holloway that in July, the Oilers weren't telling him that he was going to play with Leon, and he just wanted to know, like, am I going to be a top 6, middle 6 guy? And they weren't really giving him any sort of indication that he was going to be a real guy with the team. So just horrible fucking job there. But ultimately, I think the biggest culprit of that was Ken Holland during the season when he didn't sign those guys. So I don't know how I feel if I am Troy Stetcher, of course, he got. I don't know how I'm feeling if I'm a Kings fan. I think generally I'm feeling terrible because Kings fans should feel terrible. I don't know why. I know that a lot of people were like, I thought this was the year. Why the fuck did you think this was the year? It wasn't the year, but
Could have been.
Could have been.
We all silly like the mayor.